When's the last time you let yourself dream? Not like, oh, I'd love to have a cottage in the woods someday. I'm talking like truly open-hearted Annie in the middle of an orphanage, dreaming up every single detail about her beautiful life with her mother and father, what they do, what they think, how they dress, how they are, filling herself up with so much hope that there is no possible way in her heart of hearts that this dream cannot come true. That kind of dreaming. When's the last time you did that? Hello friends, welcome back. If you are curious about my getup, boobs. If you are curious about my outfit, I am currently participating in the March Disney Bound Challenge. To be closer to the window. I am currently participating in the March Disney Bound Challenge over on Instagram. Fixing my skirt. Boobs. So much boobs. Every day for the month of Every day for the month of March, those participating are dressing up as different Disney characters, rides, movies, artists. Today is Mary Blair Day. If you want to know more about it, you can follow me on Instagram. It's been super freaking fun, but that's not why we're here today. Today, we're gonna get crafty. That's it! Since we are coming to the end of official winter and spring is upon us, I thought what a beautiful time to get into some good old-fashioned witchy art therapy with vision boards. But these are not going to be your typical vision boards. These are going to be super magical vision boards that answer the most important question you need to be asking yourself, which is, who do I want to be? For those of you who are unfamiliar with vision boards are essentially a visual representation, usually with a collage of pictures and images and quotes of things you want to call into your life. And a typical vision board will usually have images and such that represent either goals and things you want to achieve, making a specific amount of money, getting a specific job, hitting a certain weight goal, getting into a certain school, or things you want to have, this nice new car, that beautiful watch, the love of your life. Or more broad abstract ideas like travel, get healthy, etc., etc. And those kind of vision boards are all well and good, but that's not the kind we're gonna be doing. Getting my notes, cause I forgot what I was gonna say. Getting my notes. These past couple months, I've really been thinking about my life and what I want out of it. But mostly what I've been thinking about is who I want to be in this next chapter. And I think, honestly, I feel it in the depths of my soul that that's what we're all being asked to do right now, to really feel in and figure out who it is we are and who it is we want to become. So with this vision board, we're not trying to actually capture things and achieve goals. We are trying to capture a feeling. We are trying to give visual representation to an energy, a bird's eye view of how you want your life to look, how you yourself want to look, want to feel, want to behave, want to think, want to dress. It's almost like a mood board of your life. I went through this process a few weeks ago and I sort of made it up as I went along, but it was so magical. It was so freaking magical and so effective, and I really wanted to share it with you all. But enough jibber jabber, let's get to it. Quick note, before you actually get to making, I just want to say this is not a one day, one sitting kind of process. It actually took me a couple weeks to make my vision board, and most of that time was spent just imagining and dreaming and visualizing what it is I do want my life to look like, who it is I am becoming. And as I was getting And as the image was becoming clearer, that's when I started collecting images. And I gathered them really slowly as I thought of things, as I came up with ideas, as I found pictures that really resonated with me. Consider what you're leaving behind. Imagine who it is you really want to be, what that looks like, what that feels like, the textures, the colors, the flavors. I've already said all this, but just take your time. This does not need to be a rush process. I think it's really important to I think it's really important to allow yourself the space to dream the way you need to. Anyway, let's get making. Before you begin assembling your board, it's a good idea to create a magical atmosphere. Choose a time when you won't be disturbed. Light some candles, make yourself a cup of tea, put on some beautiful music, and just let it be special. This is an act of self-love that's just for you. Intention is everything. After you've created your space, take a few moments to tune in. Consider what it is you're releasing. I love this musical mantra from Beautiful Chorus. It's 7 minutes long and is a great way to tune in and let go of all the old things you don't want to keep before you dive in creating this new future for yourself. If you'd like to try this mantra for yourself, I have put the link down below in the description. So before we officially get started putting stuff on the paper, we want to lay sort of a magical foundation for a vision board. Now, this could be whatever you choose. Obviously, there's stuff on mine right now. This is Rowan was using this as a drawing page, but that's totally fine. You could draw an image on it. You could write a word or a few words that go along with your intentions for this year. You could script out an entire story from beginning to end in gross detail, if you like. You could write affirmations. You could write a prayer, a poem, symbols, whatever it is you want to serve as the backbone for this vision board. And then everything else we do to it is going to literally seal in our intentions. So, that being said, here we go. Something I've noticed about your typical vision board is that they often get mostly covered up in a storm of motivational words and phrases, and it can be really confusing to the senses and take away from the aesthetic nature of the board. This is a way to get around that and also make it much more personal. Now, I had no plan going into this, but ended up just completely zoning out and writing a bunch of affirmations. I just kept going and going till I felt finished, and this actually ended up being my favorite part about this process. Now, this step is totally optional, but when scouring my supplies for images and such, these patterns and textures just spoke to me, and I felt it would be a fun way to seal in all those affirmations, also cover any blank space that might peek out through the final collage, and make the overall look more interesting.
few notes on choosing images. Obviously, your most available resource is going to be magazines, but if your mom's back issues of Better Homes and Gardens aren't inspiring you, don't use them. You can always find old magazines from friends, in waiting rooms, just ask. But besides that, you can use old photographs, book covers, paper bags, patterned scrapbook paper, whatever you can think of. Or just do what I did and find what you're looking for on the interwebs and print it out. The most important thing is that you use images that resonate with you. Use images that really align with your purpose and with what it is that you're dreaming up. It's better to spend a little more time finding the right image than to choose something that kind of fits the bill just because it's convenient.
Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Let's talk placement. You could just cut all your images out in squares, rectangles, and stack them one next to the other, but since we are making a magical board, I think placement is really important. Now, you do not have to be as particular as I was. I could not for the life of me decide how I wanted this stupid star, and I spent way too much time on it. But I do think it's important to consider how things are arranged, where they are in relationship to other images, what images to feature, and which are more just filler. Either way, let it be fun. Play around with the arrangement for a while before whipping out the glue. By the way, speaking of glue, if you are an indecisive butterfly brain like myself, I highly recommend this restickable glue stick. It essentially turns each piece into a post-it note, so you're free to move things if you change your mind.
Have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Are you ready? Here she is! So before I go ahead and talk about what you can do with your vision board, I thought I would share a little bit about my own vision board and do a little show and tell and share with you my personal intentions for this year, for this new chapter, this new cycle, as illustrated by my board. My number one intention for this year is to remain grounded, or get grounded. I am somebody who lives up in the clouds, lives up in my head, and that's not a very good place to be when I have a life that I want to create and I have things that I want to do. Remaining grounded is something that has always been an issue for me. So down here at the bottom, you'll notice everything at the bottom is down on the ground. We've got the beautiful house that I hope to manifest this year. Yes, I do have a Subaru Forester right there because I'm tired of having janky cars. I want a really nice car, and that's fine. This is me and my husband 10 years ago, exactly when we first got together. Beautiful sisterhood in the dirt. We got Kit from Unicorn Store. She's laying in the grass. Badass working mom and her little girl at home. But I wanted to have the whole bottom of my board have a nice solid foundation, home, family, sisterhood, motherhood. I really am wanting to be someone who is very much here and present and feeling my feet upon the earth, being tuned in to my home, my family, and my life and the people in it. My other intention is to fully step into my creativity and fully claim myself as an artist. I got this cute lady right here. She's super cute. This awesome lady right here with her sweet tattoos and her dreads, making beautiful, beautiful upcycled clothing, paintings. Look at these shoes. How cute are those shoes? Little frosting and sprinkle toes. We got Rachel Maxey on here because Rachel Maxey. Making art, doing art and making things has always been something that's been just kind of a side hustle for me next to my regular jobs. But now that I haven't had a job for a year, it's time to really dive into it. And I just want to be that full-on artist person in the way I dress, the sassy, saucy Manx, in the way I work, in the way I am. I want to be an artist. This is actually a picture of me when I was a little girl and I was a freaking star. This is one of my very first, or if not my very first, dance recital. Just look how happy she is. Look at what a glowing beam of light that little girl is. I'm bringing her back, which leads me directly into my third, I can count, third intention for this year. Just full embodiment. I want to take everything that has been boiling and roiling here inside me and bring it out and fully embrace it. That's why we've got this woman right in the middle. Look at her. She is just so full of life and light. She is just dancing in the sun, and there is all the power is coming out of her. Right below her, we've got Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, taking off all restrictions. Feyre from the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, my new obsession. Yes, I am bringing my fullest and brightest light. I am done playing small. I am done stepping back. I am done doing things half-assed. I just want to be amazing. Bonus thing that I want to bring into my life this year, my tribe. I want to call in my tribe. I love this picture of this sisterhood here, and these women up here just cracking the hell up. Got some Disney bounding friends. I want to call in my tribe. I want to find my group of nerd people who love to play dress up and go to fairs and be creative and be silly, and who are grown-ass humans but children at heart and just want to play in this life and make it as magical as possible. But that's it for my show and tell. Make this your year of living fearlessly. Now, on to what you can do with your vision board. I just love it. I love looking at this. I love looking at this. And that's what your vision board should do for you. It should feel like your soul. It should feel like your spirit. Let me lower this camera down a little bit. It should feel like you. It should feel like everything you are and everything that's in your heart and everything that brings you joy and lights you up. Now, what you can do with your vision board? Well, you can frame it. You can put it in a beautiful frame and put it up on your wall. It's like a beautiful piece of artwork. You could put it on your altar. You could use it as a base for your altar. I would recommend sealing it somehow. I'm probably going to seal this because it's already starting to peel up. You could put it on the back of your altar. You could put crystals on it and actually have it there in your meditation space so you can come to it every day and pray on it and meditate over it and just really put those intentions into it every single day. Me, I'm going to be putting this right next to I'm going to be putting this on the wall right next to my bed. So it's the first thing I see every morning and the last thing I see before I go to bed. I want to always be reminded of my intentions for this year. The one thing I would not recommend is putting it somewhere to forget about it. Now, you can, if you really, really want to, you can let your vision board go. But if you do it intentionally. If you want to pour all this energy into it and all this time and love creating it, and then burn it and release that smoke into the wind and let it be carried off into the world, that's fine and that's beautiful. You can even bury it in the ground and return that into the earth. So when those plants pop up from the ground, they are actually growing with your intentions. That's another beautiful thing you can do. But don't just stick it behind a desk or leave it somewhere and you have to keep moving it around because it's in your way, or just leave it unfinished. You know, I didn't quite finish this. There were a few pictures that I still wanted to put on there. The Farrah picture right here, I actually just put that on. I finished this a couple weeks ago, but I just finished the first 2 Court of Thorns and Roses books, and I had to put her on. I had to. But you know, your vision board can be a work in progress too. It can be a work in progress just like we are. You could just start out with a few pieces on there, maybe just a background, and as you become more clear about what it is you want and who it is you're becoming, you can add pictures to it as you go. And I think that's a beautiful way to seal in your growth and to grow with your board. But please don't just put it in a drawer and forget about it. Don't just leave it behind a desk where it collects dust. Just something that I did years ago, and nothing came of that board. I never finished it. I never went back to it. It just became a thing that I had to keep moving out of my way. Don't do that. Let this be special. Let this be magical. Let this be a gift of love to yourself and who you are becoming. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about it, please let me know down in the comments. Also, please let me know, what are your intentions for this year? What is it that you are stepping into? Who are you wanting to be? Odds are, it's the person you've always been. All of this, it's who this little girl has always been. Minus all the life crap that just gets piled on top of you. It's time to be who we truly are. It is time to shine our biggest and brightest light in this world, and I am so ready for a shift. I am so ready for a shift into joy, into light, into happiness, into just Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I love you very much. Have a fantastic day. Okay, bye.